Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, you join me, Andy Sills again, and today I'm going to be taking out this MASH 250 Black 7. This is 20 horsepower, little single cylinder 250. This bike's been sat here for a little while and it actually could do with a run, so that's what I'm doing today. I'm just going to take it out for a spin, see what it's like, because I've not ridden the MASH 250, I have ridden the TT40, CAF Racer style one, so this should be an interesting one to take out. But as I say, it hasn't run for a while, we've just put some fresh fuel on it, it might be a bit poppy to start with. You'll be okay. You just need a ride. Let's get going. I just noticed someone's put some marks with a permanent marker on the thing, and that's because the big numbers are actually kilometres, not miles an hour. Miles an hour on the inside ring. I'm going to take this out of the city and get into some little country roads and have a bit of fun up there. In theory, I should really like this bike because, if you know me, I like small engine bikes. I like simplicity in bikes. Nothing too complicated. This is a 2018 Euro 4 bike, so it has got ABS brakes front and rear, which is quite nice. They weren't very expensive, or aren't very expensive, should we say. Only about £3 and a bit grand. I don't know what the current model price is like, because as I say, this is Euro 4, so it's not the up-to-date one. I am still trying to fight my way out of this city. Honestly, getting out of Portsmouth seems to take longer and longer and longer, even if it's not that much traffic. It just seems to jam up everywhere. And you also hit every red light that exists. But then I have to remember, this is like the city test for this bike. Can you ride it at slow speeds? Of course you can. It's a 250 basic bike. It loves it. Though I think this bike could do with his neck being wrung out for a few miles, so we're going to do that. Again, red lights. Everyone's stopped. Nothing's happening in the road. Okay, so I thought the van not indicating through the roundabout was bad, but them just blowing through a red light kind of took the biscuit. That second gear, it has got some grunt, but 20 horsepower is only 20 horsepower. But it's definitely a fun, usable amount. Oh, I thought someone was rattling this. If you've been hearing a rattling this whole time, it's not the bike, it's my camera mount. That took me forever to get out of Portsmouth, man. That was bad. Okay, well, let's have a little look at this MASH 250 Black 7, remember? Okay, so the tyres are, what are those, 110s? 110 7017. They are the exact tyres that come on the Pulse Adrenaline, the old one. The forks are the same as the ones that come on the Pulse Adrenaline. Then we've got a 250cc MASH, single cylinder, overhead cam, easy valve adjustments for the top caps and all of that. EFI, ABS. You obviously also got this single-sided stainless steel exhaust. You can see there's a few fittings and things that have gone a bit rusty because this bike's been sat around for a while, but actually what those are is clips. It's not the bike that's gone rusty anywhere. It's just these clips. Why make a bike like that and then put steel clips on it that rust in 2 minutes? That's the sort of thing that I spoke to when it was Lexmoto, Pulse Lexmoto at the time in the early days, to say to them, stop being plums. You're making your own bikes look way worse by not, just getting stainless steel clips on them, because people look at that and go, oh, the bike's rusty. It's not, it's a steel clip. There is a hoverfly sitting on the brake pedal. Mate, you probably don't want to stay there. Obviously, it's got a big squidgy seat. You've got a rack on the back. That's quite handy. But that really is it, isn't it? Because was that LED or was that... Yeah, it's an LED headlight. It's just a standard motorcycle with a 250cc single. That's a good thing. Right then. Do you know what? That's actually fairly pokey. But this is where this bike should be fun. Your classic English little back roads. Oh, horses. Horses, no, cows. I see cows. So what I mean about country roads, you never know. There's going to be a horse, a person, cyclist, car, man putting several tons of bovine across the road. Someone who thinks you take a corner like this by hitting the inside from the other direction. You know, these are all things you have to think about. This is actually a really fun bike because it's got poke, but it's not overly quick. It's got good engine braking. Now, as I say, this bike's been sat for a little while, so I don't want to make any great assessments of what this bike is like because I don't know what the deal with this one is. Like the front brake, it's okay, it's not that powerful, but there is quite a bit of squidge to start with. I don't know if it just needs to be bled or whether it's something that this ABS system just feels like that. How does it go over here? No problem at all. Yes, that was me trying not to get it wet and muddy. It's a proper fun little bike, you know. As it's kind of annoying that when you own bikes you can only have so many. It would be really fun to get something like this, you know, do a bit of customization to it, maybe try and get some different suspension on it, maybe some different brakes. I don't know. That would be an idea, wouldn't it? You think you can get forks and brakes on this from something else. This bike seems to be quite happy at sitting at 60-65, and you've still got a bit of poke there to just, you know, get on the throttle and it goes. Pigeon! Now if we put all the silly shenanigans of buzzing around country lanes and just, what is this bike like to sit on and just ride? It's really comfy actually, it's good position, it's nice and big, it feels big for a 250. It's quite long, it's quite wide, the seat's very big and squidgy. I wish the tank was slightly shorter, but then I suppose that's part of the whole, you know, stance of this sort of bike. So the MASH 250 Black 7, absolutely great fun in the country roads, but it was going to be because it's a classic motorcycle with a 250cc engine, 20 brake horsepower. It's not a lot, but it feels like quite a light bike, but I imagine it's probably not that light because these sorts of bikes never are. The frames tend to weigh an absolute ton. But then that gives you sort of road hold and feel, and it's got a bit of heft to it. It's nice. The only thing that would get on my nerves on this bike is the fact that the speedo, the larger numbers are kilometres and the smaller ones are miles an hour. I've got to see, what other mod cons come on the MASH 250? Is that sign being moved again? I swear it's going to take someone's head off one of these days. I've noticed we have a fuel light, no fuel gauge, but that's actually okay because for the Chinese bikes, normally you don't get a fuel gauge, and for small ones I actually don't, or a fuel light. So just to have a light is helpful. Okay, this is a very steep hill, and it appears to be topping out at around 60 going up it. Although it might just be because 5th is a little bit long. Nah, yeah, 60 up this hill. In 20 brake horsepower, with me on it. Oh, I should mention, I am 6'4", so I'm quite a tall chap, so if this looks tiny, it's because I'm doing that to it. Sorry, if I mention my height in videos, people get all mad at me saying I'm flexing on them. I'm not kidding, someone got mad at me for just mentioning my height. But when you are taller than 99% of the country, it's kind of important to point these things out. What this bike does strike me though is a bike that's got loads of potential. to just kind of do whatever you want with. I mean, I actually really like lots about it. I like the dials on it. I like the headlight. And I do like the tank. So it's a little bit long, but I can guarantee you though that if you park this outside of Tesco's, it won't be so long before, and someone of the older generation will come up to you and start talking to you about it. Every time I've had a bike which is made to look classic, whether that be an electric made to look classic, or some other 250 made to look classic or something like that, you always get people coming up and just complimenting it, because it's just a classic looking bike. It's definitely running on point now compared to when we left. As I say, it's been left for a while. It had old fuel in it. We chucked a bit of fresher fuel in it. But it just needed a good run, and now it's purring like a kitten. You can tell it's a Chinese engine, if I'm honest. It's you know, it's not the most sophisticated thing, but I actually like that. It's kind of charming about them. Of course, it's perfectly fine for filtering. Well, that was a fun little ride, and it's definitely done this bike some good to get out and get some fresh fuel through it. Yeah, that's not how you park places like this, mate. Come on. So there you go. There is my little ride out on the MASH 250 Black 7. It's a great little all-rounder. Good little cheap bike. As always, thanks to Andy for the loan of the bike. If you enjoyed the video, like the video. Subscribe if you're new here, and if you want to help support this channel, please consider doing that through Patreon. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.